So before we started recording, me and Quincy was talking about well, actually Quincy mentioned his vinyl collection and how it's been growing. And I was mentioning that I had seen his stories that he's been grabbing a lot more vinyl. And it made me think like, because I don't really collect hip hop at all as far as vinyl goes. Like I got a couple, like I got Illmatic, I got the Illmatic with the orchestra. My brother gifted that to me. I got
Kendrick.
hip hop is dead. I got Damn, yep, the
Mm-hmm.
Kendrick, and I think that's it. Honestly, I don't even think I got no more hip hop besides that.
Wow.
But the reason why I was thinking like, dang, maybe I need to because I listen. I'm obviously I'm listening to hip hop all the time on my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
In my car, everything. But I'm thinking like, bro, like collecting the hip hop vinyl might be like a future play. Like as far as like when I get a little older, it's something that I'm gonna want to listen to. Also, my son, his kids, my daughter's kids. You know what I mean? Like if I collect the stuff that's dope to me, and
Mm-hmm.
like when that time comes and I'm a little older and they rifling through the record player collection, you know what I'm saying? I mean the vinyl collection, and
Mm-hmm.
they could find like all the dope stuff that I used to listen to that I
Not
held in high
not only
regard.
that, and one thing, like I said, I got my pops vinyls behind me. They're never gonna know your taste in music until they go through your collection. And I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that's ever gonna matter until it cares for them to go through your collection because it's theirs. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
when I went through my pops collection, I thought he had all Spanish shit. Did I see the shit he has? He has like every Guns N' Roses. He has all these old soul, like
Yeah.
in the 80s, like even the 70s, like jazz. Like he was so big into jazz, and I never knew that. I never took time to appreciate that until I went through his collection. I was like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
I get it why I like this music so much.
And then on the other side of it, the way hip hop is going in 10 years, who knows where hip hop is even going to be? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hear a lot of funk anymore coming out.
Mm-mm,
You don't
mm-mm.
hear a lot of, Patti LaBelle sounding music anymore. You know what I'm saying? So, like, from a standpoint of just where hip hop will be, like, yeah, man, I definitely collect hip hop albums. Like I was saying before we booted up, one of the things that I noticed about some of the hip hop albums I have, not all of them, because let's get it, for real. Like Kanye, J. Cole, Jay-Z, some of the albums I got from them, I know for a fact they're timeless. They're gonna be played repeatedly. But there are some albums that it's like, they're kind of for the time. You know what I'm saying? They're not really
So let me ask you a question.
mhm.
What is your approach when you select the vinyl to purchase? Is it because it's one of your favorite, or you consider it a classic, or because you know it's something that you should have in your collection,
For
or
me,
other?
it's usually like something that's like I enjoyed this full project. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a classic project. Like I recently got Nelly Country Grammar. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Banger,
yeah.
banger.
And like for me, let's be 100% honest. Not every song on that album I rock with, but
Yeah.
it's a classic album. However, there
It
are
has
some
it has
songs.
way more dope than bad though. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure,
Like
for
like any
sure.
album, it has a couple of them that are kind of whack, but it's pretty solid all the way through.
But
But
that's the
then
thing
there's
about
something
vinyls.
like, but then there's something, my bad, real quick. But then there's something
Yeah.
like College Dropout where I can let that play through every time, never miss a song,
Yeah.
and enjoy the entire project. And so that's like, I gotta have that. You know what I mean?
So for
Yeah.
me, it's kind of like it has to be a great album, or it has to include a song that to me is like an all timer, like a
Yeah.
song that I
But
always
that's the
bang.
point I want to make. With vinyls, you can't sit on the couch and hit next. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up, put it on the next line, get to the next line.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the goal is what is something I can let ride that
Yeah.
the only time I'm getting up is to flip it and start the
Right.
next side
Exactly.
over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kind of going off that, a new edition album that I copped was one. I mean, a new edition vinyl that I copped was one that was like that, where I copped it for a couple of songs. But when I was young and heard those songs, I never had the album, and I never heard the album. You know what I'm saying? It was that first album they did with Johnny Gill.
Mm-hmm.
Can You Stand the Rain? If It Isn't Love.
Bro, that intro to If It Isn't Love is top 5 to me.
You know what I'm saying? And no, I'm lying. If It Isn't Love wasn't on that. I think If It Isn't Love was on the album before, and Johnny Gill was with them. It was just, yeah, it was the comeback album after they already had Johnny Gill. but they were like kind of like in that in between phase where they weren't young but they weren't old, and that's when Can You Stand the Rain came. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that album
Was it Mr. Telephone Man?
no, not on that one.
Not
Mr.
even
Telephone
that
Man
one.
was like their first one. Yeah.
The
On this
original,
one,
right?
it was called Any Heartbreak.
Yeah, okay, yeah. New Edition Heartbreak, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the names of the songs, but I know it had Coming Home with Me. That was a super dope one, but specifically
Was that the second, like when they were older? Nah.
yeah, when they were a little older. But
Yeah.
not the one like that they did with Diddy when they were in Bad Boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now though.
And you know it's funny because
the tracks.
yeah, I'm looking at them too. And it's still because Jagged Edge was not the second coming to them, but you know, they were a dope R&B group, and their first album was J.E. Heartbreak. And like they modeled after that. Any Heartbreak, J.E. Heartbreak, and like that was such an impact to R&B groups. They set the precedent, so like the boy band for R&B groups, which was dope.
If It Isn't Love was actually on it.
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't for some reason. But yeah, it is on it. So yeah, it was that and Can You Stand the Rain. That was really the reason why I grabbed that album. But I always knew that Boyz II Men got their name from New Edition.
Track 15,
Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
So when I got that album was the actual first time that I heard that song. And that's one of my favorite songs. Like probably more like I probably like that song better than anything on the album. And it wasn't a song that I knew like coming up. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't a song that I knew as a kid. It was one that I found like as a teenager that I'm like, oh my gosh, yo, like this song is a banger.
And see, that's like one of the things that I started to realize that I do is like if there's an artist that I really like, for example, like Boyz II Men, right? But I don't know like a specific album that I want from them, then that's when I'm like, all right, well, let me just get the greatest hits. You know what I mean? Because then at least I know I can let it ride. You know what I mean? So like kind of going to your point, Joe, like that's kind of been like my little formula where it's like if it's not a classic album, if it's not an album that I'll let ride through, but I do want, you know what I'm saying? Like I got the Mary J. Blige, I think the retrospective, like it's like it's kind of like her greatest hits. You know what I mean? So like basically that's kind of like my little cheat code to that. But yeah, I'm with you. I like if I can't let it ride all the way through, then I don't want it on vinyl.
Hey man, to kind of lead into one of the things we're going to talk about today, and I just really put this together in my head. I'm going to start collecting rap, and I'm going to start with Cameron, bro. And the reason why, not because Cameron is my favorite rapper, but he is in my top 5. And bro, as far as projects go, Cameron, dog, underrated, slept on. Even the way he raps and the things he says, somehow people take it like he's stupid or he's saying dumb
because
shit.
there are some like you got a piece of pizza, you got a piece of pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like those kind, yeah. But
if you listen to the whole verse or the whole the where it leads to and the connections he makes, like every bar, like dog, this shit is thoughtful, bro. Like people, and it kind of leads into what Ludacris was talking about in that video. There's a video going around on the internet where Ludacris is saying like one of his favorite, if not his favorite rap verse of all time is Cameron on The Rock. It's a song with Memphis Bleak, Beanie Siegel, and it was on Cameron's first album with Rockefeller.
Yeah.
It was after SDE, and it was like
was that Jada on the hook?
Nah, it didn't even have a hook. It was just straight through. They was just straight.
No, man, I get like a random sample. I felt like it was him. I was just wondering because I listened to it today.
Yeah, maybe it did. But yeah, it was like when Cameron's verse comes, even like at the time, you talking about Memphis Bleak, Beanie Siegel, like Beanie Siegel was definitely like on top as far as spitters go. Memphis Bleak was always on that level underneath, you know what I mean? But he could do his thing every once in a while. But dog, it's like Cameron verse came on in that song, and you could just tell why they're featured on his album. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said, like I could live with somebody saying they just don't like Cameron's style. That I could 100% understand. It's a very specific and unique style, so you definitely gotta like it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Freeway to me. Like Freeway to me was an acquired taste. When I first heard him, I'm like, bro, he is trash, bro. It's not rhyming thing, but when I caught it, when my mind caught on to the rhyme scheme that he was on, he's one of the hardest rappers I ever heard. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, you know in rap, who got the last verse?
Yeah, whoever
Right?
went.
It means a lot who gets the last verse.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And for those rappers to be like, yeah, Cam gets it, even if get it, it's his album, but there's a lot of features where the main artist goes first and he lets the features run it. And then for artists like Luda to respect Cam and much, like there was a lot of respect for Cam at that point from the whole industry and still to this day.
Facts, because it wasn't even just the music; it was like his business mind too, and the way he was promoting himself, and like the positions he would kind of maneuver himself into. Pause. It was like you could tell this dude was like kind of operating on a different level than just a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, man, I could understand if you don't like the style, cool, but you can't downplay him like he ain't spitting or he ain't putting thought into what he's saying. Because I'm telling you, every Cameron song, like the whole thing is like he's putting these songs together not by accident, not not just a magic in the studio. Nah, bro, this guy is an artist, dog. Like that's why, like, you even look at something we talked about before about Joel Santana, not necessarily having the work ethic at the time to kind of live up to his expectation. And one of Cameron's things was like he used to say that. I mean, he said that they used to have to kind of force him to record, force him to go to the studio, really be on him about getting the music done. And when you think back and you kind of see what kind of artist Cam was, you know he respected the music and put time and energy into it. So he was trying to impart that on him. Like the way Cameron was rapping, he wasn't just walking in the studio and just randomly spitting something and leaving. You know what I'm saying? These rappers want to pretend like that's like the kind of vibe they on, and it's like, bro, that's not the vibe they on. They really taking this, like the ones that you feel like are the top ones, bro, they not just slapping this music together. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the greatest like myths that that kind of snowballed away from Jay-Z, that he didn't even really have to do with it, but that there's like a myth that he just goes in the studio, hears a beat, and he just starts freestyling off the top of his head, and then it's like the songs that we're hearing, and it's like, bro, it's not like that, dog.
And he has so much iconic shit. Yeah, like his Rap City basement freestyle where he's counting the money. You know what I'm saying? He had it Down and Out with Kanye. Like he has so much iconic shit, and people, and including me, I'm people. I underappreciated and I downplayed it because of those random corny lines that I would hear. And I'm like, oh, this guy can't rap. But this is a conversation I had in one of my chats with some of my New York homeboys that are always into New York rap. And it's like, Cameron was dope. But once everybody heard Joel's, there was like, he's the rapper. He's the one with bars. And yada, yada, yada. But Cam still had the flow. He had the flow. And like, so I went back. After that Luda clip, I went back and watched the verses of the Locks and Dipset.
Then that's crazy because I got something to say about that, and we didn't even talk about verses. Go ahead.
Right. And even though they was against each other, Jada, the second that beat dropped, Jada was like, oh, you had to do this. Jada was hype. And then he was like filling in and ad-libbing the lyrics for him. He like knew his whole verse. And that's how you know, like, if you wasn't nice, nobody would know your shit like that.
And you talking about Jadakiss, like this is a guy that like at one point he was like the crown jewel of rappers. Everybody had him like in their top 5, if not number 1, as far as like never missing with a verse. You know what I mean? But it's funny, man, because like I honestly feel like, and I would like for somebody to ask him this, man. Like I feel like Cameron low key took what Jadakiss said in verses professionally, personally.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in a sense of like, you know, I don't know if y'all remember, but when they were doing that verses, Jadakiss's big thing was like, y'all over here trying to look like models. You know, you're not even rapping your verses. You singing over songs, doing karaoke. Like we're MCs. We real rappers. Like Jadakiss was like, yo, we got the bangers and we gonna outperform you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Cameron has always been that type of dude. Like if you watch him live shows and stuff like that, he rap everything. Like he don't just be standing there, you know, being too cool, you know, letting the audience do the whole thing. Nah, he's rapping, bro. And I feel like he maybe kind of felt like he got a bad look in that spotlight being associated with the whole Dipset thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And he kind of was like, all right, let me remind these people, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been dropping more like little freestyles here and there, more footage of him performing has been coming out and stuff like that. So I kind of almost feel like it kind of like gave him that look, and he used that look to like remind people like who he is, you know what I mean? And even that, like kind of going off what you said, Joe, like the only reason Cameron was even able to kind of just have this resurgence that he kind of just decided out of nowhere he's gonna have, because all they said was, yo, let's do this show and blow it up, and then they did it and it blew up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
And
one more thing,
but real quick before I
yeah. No, go ahead.
basically my point with that is like the only reason he was even able to do that is because he's not because he's nice, you know what I'm saying? Because he was so dope as an artist, he's able to kind of come back on the scene and present something else because people are gonna respect him and say, oh, that's Cameron, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and that's a good point. So I follow his production manager and the camera dude, and he literally posted this post and he said, Cameron said, I'm bored, just put the camera on me. And there's a lot of rappers who surpassed their rapping career. Want to mention Joe Budden, who would say, I wouldn't dare rap again, like that's below me, and what yada yada yada, I'm so big. But at the end of the day, we want to know if you can still rap. And so for Cam to say, drop the camera on me, and he just dropped this rap.
I said, I'm stressed. I used to get mine the fast way. If I had a bad day before pool, I got the mask, babe. Stayed inside the house, ma. It was called a halfway.
And it's like so flawlessly. He was brushing his hair. He's on set. And it's just like, yo, Cam was literally a rapper. A great rapper, a great flow, a great artist, a great spitter. And that's what's like, I underappreciated Cam. Despite Dipset, despite Jewels, despite all the whack rhymes, Cam was a great, he set precedence. He set precedence when he came in the game. And I underappreciated it. And I'm glad I had one more time. I'm glad with that Luda clip. I'm glad with that random clip of him freestyle, because all week I just been listening to Cam. That's it.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. And I want to like I just discovered a new artist. Y'all have actually told me before to check him out. I didn't get around to it. And then shout out to Sean Madden. He's actually gonna be on the show. He put me on to him, and like I just been riding to his music ever since, dog. Like he even gives me kind of like a new, like nowadays Cameron type dude. You know what I'm saying? Like his style, the kind of stuff he rap about, like the consistency, you know what I mean? Like I discovered him, and I'm going through his library, and he got a lot of bangers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And that even kind of like put the battery in my back about hip hop, you know what I mean? Because like I've been real down about it, you know, the last few years. I don't go out of my way to listen to new rap, and when I do, I'm always disappointed. You know what I mean? Everything is always so corny to me. Like, and even when somebody like comes out with a vibe of like, oh, I'm a real rapper and I'm gonna rap for real, like their attempt is always corny to me. You know what I mean? And Larry June is one that I listen to that I'm like, dang, like this is a dude that sound fresh. This is a dude that got some dope music. I like what he talking about, and it's just like, bro, shout out to him, man. Like it's real hard to break through as a rapper nowadays, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And he has a, it's a unique style, but it's also, like you said, it's just a good hip hop sound. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you don't really get that sound as often anymore from the standpoint of just like hip hop and its roots. You know what I mean? I feel like we've gotten to the pop era, and he's dope. He's dope, man. He definitely.
Do y'all feel that's a West Coast thing? Because so I put him in along the lines of like Dom Kennedy, who else I'm thinking about? Nipsey Hussle. So like that West Coast style, like they know the West Coast is so supportive of that style of music, and it's not current style. I don't consider it pop. I don't consider it with the times. I consider it just a West Coast flow. You having a picnic, you cruising, you're in the low rider, you playing that kind of music.
That's exactly what I was about to say right now. I feel like the way they vibe over there is different, so the music they vibe to is different. Like you brought up Dom Kennedy, bro. Anytime I go to LA, anytime I go to California, and I go to any, you know, whatever it is, and there's people and anybody's vibing, dog, they're always playing Dom Kennedy
Yeah.
and that vibe of music, because it's like you said, bro, like they have like little kickbacks and stuff, like
Mhm.
over there they do a lot of like get-togethers, party at somebody's crib, like the vibe over there is different as far as like the way they chill, you know what I mean, which
Yeah,
is something.
my sister from the Bay Area. I lived in the Bay Area. My family's still in the Bay Area, and that's all they listen to. And there's still a lot more artists. And Mac Dre, like I went to a family reunion when my grandmother passed away. God rest her soul. We was over there, and after the whole service, we came back to the crib, and it was just Mac Dre all night. And every single one of my cousins knew every single word of that song. And I was like, damn, it ain't like this over on the east side. I don't know if it's, I'm not trying to say east and west, but it's not like that on the east side.
Yeah, nah, bro, I feel you 100%. And even like I feel like a lot of the get-togethers that I do, it's like
Yeah.
nobody really does that out here. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? And to me, it's such a dope vibe. And every time I do it, people pull up, people have a great time. They always talking about it. They always ask me, yo, when we doing the next one? And it's like, bro, like we could be doing that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Instead of going to a place and spending X amount of money for maybe having a good
It
time.
ain't always about the turn up.
Exactly. And I feel like that's like you're saying, Joe, that's that culture difference here versus over there. Over here, if you're talking about, yo, let's chill, everybody's mind goes to let's go somewhere where like we're not even going to be thinking. You know what I mean? Like just loud music and everybody's just, whatever. And it's like over there, they're trying to vibe, they're trying to chill. But
Everybody's trying to be in the same element together. And I believe that music, and that's why like I attribute it to growing up on the West Coast till I was 10 years old and listening to like a lighter shade of brown on the Sunday afternoon. One of my favorite songs I still remember to this day. And that's why it's funny. My brother-in-law, Junior, shout out to Junior. He was born in LA. He's from the West Coast. And when he was looking for random songs to post on his Instagram for random things, I sent him like crazy Dom Kennedy stuff. And that's why I like Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa had that style when he started coming out. He had that West Coast flow, even though he's from Pittsburgh. Like he had that like laid back, chill, like cruising.
He spent
like,
a lot of time in LA too, like cooking up.
Yeah, it's a different kind of vibe, man, and it still exists to this day, no matter what year it is, no matter how much time it goes by. I feel that vibe still exists in the West Coast this day.
Yeah, and you're 100% correct, because even like with music, I could tell you just from seeing it, like a lot of times an artist will go out there, the music they make out there, amazing, you know what I'm saying, and then when they try to make music somewhere else besides LA, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same vibe. And not to say that they can't make music anywhere else, but it's kind of like you said, Joe, like it just puts you in a certain mood. The people that are making the music are already over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're already just like locked in, like to the 10th degree. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But yeah, man. We had who sent the Cam Newton Charleston White clip?
You?
I don't.
I
Oh,
feel
okay.
like it was you, yeah.
I didn't even remember. But yeah, I know somebody had came across it, and like it was super interesting, man. Because I haven't been able.
Yeah,
to
I need y'all to fill me in about that.
So basically, like I feel like I have a good perspective on it just because I don't know too much about him, and I haven't consumed any of his content aside from the stuff that I see, which usually is just the stuff that they're gonna pick and choose. You know what I mean? So I haven't even like been able to really come up with my opinion so much of him. But basically Charleston White is like an online personality, somebody that kind of just pops up along the lines of like Drewski, even like 6ix9ine. Like you could almost put him in that category of like just like an online personality troll, you know what I mean? And
Was he an artist though?
No, he's just like he's just like an older black.
So definitely more like
like
Drewski. I wouldn't, because 6ix9ine had the artist side.
He's just like an older black dude. I believe he's from Louisiana.
I can't remember.
He's a real big Boosie fan, and he got an accent kind of like a Louisiana accent.
Yeah,
so maybe
I thought that was
not
fake.
Yeah, so he just like he's on some like Uncle Ruckus type vibes. You know what I mean? Every time you see the dude from Boondocks, like it was like the black dude that hated black people.
I know who you're talking about.
You know
I
what I
never
mean?
seen Boondocks.
So every time you see like a clip from Charleston White, he's always on some type of time like that. You know what I mean? Like he's always like real talking real down about black people, like always
Mm-hmm.
talking nice about how white people are and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see
Anti.
that, and then I see that clip on the Cam Newton show. So he's on Cam Newton's podcast. I don't know if it's a podcast or a YouTube show, but Cam
Yeah, I didn't
Newton
even
has
know
a
he had a
show,
show.
and Charleston White was on there, and Cam Newton basically said like, "Yo, why you be saying the stuff you be saying?" And then he kind of just runs down a list of things that he's done as far as like helping his community, working with lawmakers to try to get laws changed and stuff. I haven't been able to verify none of that, but basically the gist of the clip is when I was doing all this stuff and trying to mobilize people to get behind what I was doing, nobody cared. You know, when I was just wearing my suit and tie, going to work with these governors, senators, you know, local politicians, like, you know, like you have
Making a change like everybody wants
yep,
everybody from their culture to do.
making a change from within. But then he was like, the only time I really popped off to bring awareness to what I was doing was once I started doing the stupid ignorant stuff. So what is that? You know, he's basically saying like, this is what it is. Like this is on y'all type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because like we've kind of mentioned it before, but like there's this formula that a lot of times will work if you follow that formula. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what Charleston White is alluding to. Like he played this character and used it so outlandishly to gain that popularity to really push forward whatever his agenda is. You know what I mean? Nobody was gonna move him forward or put him in that spotlight if they just recognized him for what he was doing in his community. You know what I mean? So like that I just kind of want to like talk about that / dissect that because it's super interesting to me because it's something that we all know is true. Like it's the car crash thing. You know what I mean? Like it's always you know, something kind of like sensationalized that's gonna make its rounds before anything, you know. And it's sad that it's that way, but it is that way. So it's like people are always like being in this kind of like dilemma where they're trying to figure out like, oh, am I going to move forward in this situation by doing X, Y, and Z, or am I going to kind of stay where I'm at because I'm not comfortable with doing X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? And I just kind of wanted to get your opinion on that because, like I said, like if we're taking what he's saying at face value, that he was doing all these things behind the scenes before, and it took for him to take on this internet character for him to get any movement. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, I think he he did what he had to do, but I will say that he, you know, there is some truth to what he's saying, but there's probably also some, I don't know, because I've seen, you know, I don't follow Charleston White a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I will say, like, when I go get my hair locked up, you know, and go get my hair cut and stuff, like they'll play clips like in the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I've seen like things he's done, like I've seen him get into it with a dude and have to like basically like he had like a knife on him, he had to slice this dude up, you know what I'm saying? Like because a black dude came at him or whatever. Like I've seen like his antics and like kind of like that side of it. So I don't know. Like I feel like yeah, there probably might be some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? He probably had to take on this certain persona. Just you know, he was like, because I think he even said like I didn't even realize I was funny till the internet told me I was funny. You know what I mean? And so like I think there's some truth to it in a sense of like he figured out like, hey, this is what's working. Let me just do this. You know what I'm saying? Like even when we're doing the music stuff, like you know, we talk. You know, shout out to Freddie. You know, I mean, we talk with Freddie a lot. And you know we try stuff, we see what works, we try stuff, we see what doesn't work, and you know if something's working, you probably gonna dive into that, and I think that that's kind of what might have happened in his situation. But I mean, from what I saw, he was like all the stuff that he's saying as far as like you know him being active in his community. From what I saw in fact check, it was true. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like you know I get that side of it too. So I don't know. I think there's a little bit of you know embellishment, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to it, you know what I mean? But there definitely could be some truth as well.
Yeah, and that's why like I will discredit some people who start in the ratchet way, in the ignorant way, and then try to adopt some real shit. It's like nah, like I'm not looking for you to do that. But for him to start that way and then no one pay attention to it, and then go the ignorant way. Like, I wouldn't expect him to even care to reach out to the people who want him to start dropping that real shit anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did that. That was his persona. That was his true persona. And for people to pay attention, he had to do that ignorant character. And I was like, oh no, y'all, if y'all didn't listen to me then, I don't give a shit. Like, nah, like he said, and he threw them stats out. He's like, chlamydia, HIV, all the shit I was talking about, y'all suffering from now, and y'all didn't want to listen to me then because I wasn't ignorant, I wasn't making jokes, and I wasn't being funny about it. I feel him. I feel him 100%. But he is quite a character, though.
That's why I said I feel like there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
You know, some truth to it. I thought he was like a
Damon Wayans character for sure in the beginning.
But yeah, it's definitely like a curious thing, and that's always like one of the things about like this big social experiment type vibe that we're on. Always like fascinates me, like how like I wonder what somebody like that limit is in their head where like that switch changed, where they're like, I'm just gonna take this on and claim it to further my cause. You know what I mean? Because it's like I think we mentioned it on the show before, but like it's like the baby when he first popped off. Like the reason why he even was getting on people's radar was because he was at some music festival with a diaper on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, he was on stage with a diaper, just a diaper on, bro. He came out because he was the baby. You know what I'm saying? Before he was the baby, he was baby Jesus.
Damn, never knew that.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he came out in a diaper, bro. And then that was like when
they got people like, talking.
Yep. And then he kind of blew up after that.
So it's obviously like, he don't got to do that no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I never knew that side of him. I knew once he blew up, then
you know. But I don't know. It just kind of goes to that point of like, you know, what are you?
The baby, not little baby, right?
The baby.
Okay. Yeah. I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, man. I understand what he's saying, Charleston White, but at the same time, it's like the route that he went is definitely not the route I would have went. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, who knows if he's making a bigger impact than me by taking the route he went? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's like sometimes it's even a sacrifice on yourself. Like maybe he's saying, I don't care if people look at me this way because I can do this for others by doing this character. You know what I mean? There's like a lot of layers to it that like it goes back to like that thing of like, bro, like we don't know what's going on with anybody. Like everybody got their own things they're dealing with, and like everybody just always assumes that they're the hero and the other person's the bad guy. You know, I was watching this thing about World War II in color. I don't know if y'all seen that on Netflix.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I hadn't watched it before, and I was watching it, and there was a little part where they were talking to the German soldiers that were still alive at the time when they were interviewing them, and basically all of them was saying like, bro, we thought we was the good guys. You know what I mean? Like we was going out to war, like feeling like, yo, we about to change the world. Like we about to fix this. These people are doing X, Y, and Z. They're evil, whatever. But it's like one of the forgotten things about that era is like one of the big details that Hitler was doing. I mean, one of the key things that Hitler was doing was starting that real big, heavy propaganda movement, you know what I'm saying? Where it was like, you know, the movies were making the government look good. You know, the radio was making them look good. The music even, like, they was even making artists, like, make songs, like, talking about the government being good and, like, you know, the military being good and everything. So they really just had all them people gassed up and thinking, like, yo, we doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until way later and after the whole dust settled that they was like, oh, wow, like, this dude was mad racist and he was really trying to take over the world because we wanted everybody to be white with green eyes. Like, it's crazy, man. Yeah, man. But it's funny, man. That was like a crazy like twist of topics because I'm like reading them now and thinking about all the stuff we talked about, but somehow it all flowed. You know what I mean? But yeah, dog, you already know what time it is.
I'm about to say, you better get
I was gonna say that's what people gotta understand. All right, y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
That's what people gotta understand about our topics. Like, we are so improvisational. Like, we got maybe 2 topics max, and if we even touch on them, is a blessing. But for the most part, we're just riding, and this is just like constant flow of thought that we just talk about and we just ride with, and there's a lot of people who can't accomplish what we're doing, so it's a good thing.
It goes kind of back to even like the Larry June music and the vibe of it, you know what I mean? And that kickback, chilling kind of atmosphere and stuff. Like that's like the kind of vibe even like these conversations be giving me. And you know, going back, touching on history again, you think about the Greeks where they had them famous like forums, you know what I mean, where people would just kind of gather to talk and talk through ideas and concepts and things like that. And
that's where Brutus stabbed Caesar.
Hey man, I just watched that Roman Empire thing, man. It was one of those things where I'm like, I already knew the ending, but I was excited to get to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's definitely dope. But it's game time, baby.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it, dog.
Yeah.
Well, Joe came.
Do we have a record?
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm gonna have to go back and
let's just call it even.
I don't like that.
All right, well, you're gonna have to go roll through all the clips to find out, then.
It's in the description, so I can check them and just at the end, so I can definitely make sure. I think y'all tied, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
It's probably close to the time.
I think y'all tied. If y'all not tied, Quincy's up by one.
One, yeah.
No, because remember Quincy was out that week and I crushed him, so
crushed him
by default.
Ain't my fault if you ain't started player that week, Quincy. You know what I'm saying? It's your fault, though.
Let's get to it.
I'm out next week though, so
I've been ready all week.
Damn, you got your bye coming up.
You got that bye coming up.
Yeah, I got my bye week next week, Quincy. It's on you.
I'm putting my starters in.
All right, y'all ready?
Let's get it.
Let's try to get this year, baby. Go ahead and throw it out there.
I had the last one first. Go ahead, Quincy.
98.
Go ahead, Joe.
99.
Oh,
what a dirt!
What
a dirt bag! This man hit me with the Price is Right movement.
Yo,
I was gonna say 9801.
He hit you with the don't sweat the technique, dog.
In January.
All right, let's get it, man. This was actually the week of March 10th, 2001, and this first one is. This Caribbean-inspired song was part of a special run from this artist that included a song about getting caught with a side piece. The
God. It wasn't fucking me.
No, listen to the question.
Oh, damn.
I hope he's wrong.
And I'm going to tell the artist, too. I mean, you have to guess the artist first.
Right.
So
I'm on
Sean Paul,
right.
Shaggy, or Ricky Martin? Sean Paul, Shaggy, or Ricky Martin?
It's Shaggy.
All right, bet. So this Caribbean-inspired song was part of a special run that included a song about getting caught with a side piece. So that's not the song.
Oh.
The run of music included that song. So what's the other song?
All right.
No,
it wasn't.
You thought it was easy,
it's my turn. You little dirt.
No.
No, he hasn't guessed yet.
It's the first time he has a collection of songs. This is a curveball here.
No, you good either way because you haven't guessed yet. I had to read the question after you guessed the artist.
No, but this is the first time you included the description of a song that's not the answer. First of all,
it's the stacking the knowledge and the misdirection.
I'm going with Shaggy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You want me to? You want to hear the thing again? Or
yeah. Let me hear the thing.
This Caribbean-inspired song was part of a special run from this artist that included a song about getting caught with a side piece.
Okay, so that's me. So the other one. Shorty, you're my angel. You're my darling.
Ding. There you go. Hey,
I only had 2 songs. Damn, dog. Like, come on, man. You already got the first one wrong. It's cold.
No, I didn't get it wrong. It was part of that run. So I have 50% of the answer. I need the other 50%.
God.
So I got 100%.
This man just dropped his whole catalog.
Hey, first of all, you know when you do multiple choice and it says pick all the answers that apply? And you're like, oh, yeah. There's another one that fits and you got to circle that last one.
That joke said, Angel, it wasn't me, all of the above, A and B.
There you go.
Oh, my God.
Golly.
Quincy. Joe got 1.
Is that 2 points?
No, that's 1.
All right.
Damn, just chill. Whoa, he's trying to get too.
I know I'm gonna have to go to the board about this, but we'll see. I'll write a letter.
My dog trying to get 2 points, dog. It's cold blooded out here.
Mhm.
All right,
Squid
so-
Games.
This R&B quote unquote boy band had a string of hits, with this acknowledgement of a relationship ending being one of the centerpieces. So this R&B boy band was a staple of the era and featured oh, my bad, I'm reading the wrong one. So this R&B boy band had a string of hits, with this acknowledgement of a relationship ending being one of the centerpieces. So the artists are 112, Jagged Edge, or B2K. You want to hear the question again?
Wait, I think I know this one. 112.
112 is correct. And what is the song? You want to hear the question again, or you got
I know it.
Do it.
It's over now.
Woo!
You little whore.
What is
There
this?
you go.
Numbers in your pockets. I dropped a crazy freestyle. That song, y'all ain't ready for that.
Damn, a freezy. All right. So this is the last one, Joe. If you get
Here we
it, you
go.
win. If
Oh,
not, Quincy
shit.
gets his chance.
Pressure's on.
All right.
Pressure's on. No timeouts. Don't freeze the kicker.
And this is a good little toughie. And actually, it surprised me with this position as well.
That's what she said.
This R&B banger was a staple of this era and featured a rapper with a loud and wild style, and was centered around. Go ahead. And was centered around a speech.
You know it?
No, yeah, I already know, but give me my options.
Joe,
No Limit Soldier.
Case, Carl Thomas.
We're gonna go. Shit, I know who the rapper is, but which song was it? Give me the thing again. The thing again.
This R&B banger was a staple of the era and featured a rapper with a loud and wild style, and was centered around a speech impediment.
Speech impediment. There you go. Okay. And then it was
Joe, Case, Carl Thomas.
Carl Thomas.
Incorrecto.
Damn.
Hey,
Quincy, do you want to hear the question, or you got it?
just give it to me one more time for good measure.
This R&B banger was a staple of the era and featured a rapper with a loud and wild style and was centered around a speech impediment. Joe, Case, and Carl Thomas.
Well, it's not Carl, it's Joe Case.
It's your boy Joe.
Joe, and what's the song, my friend?
Stutter, stutter, stutter,
Oh,
stutter.
wow. No, I thought the artist had a speech impediment. Not the song.
Go.
And the winner in a freaking shootout is Quintonian
I'm writing the board.
Third.
I'm writing the board. Nah, we gonna have it. Nah, I want to replay. I thought the artist had a speech impediment.
Nah, you
It's
heard
the left.
wrong,
I
my
can
friend.
tell you're lying because when you're replying, you know what I'm saying.
When you hit that playback, you're gonna see you was
Damn.
incorrect, my friend.
No, so who's on it? Who's rapping on the Sutter?
Who's the
Mystical.
rapper. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, I knew it was Mystical. I thought it was. Yeah.
You had,
Yo,
you
my
had
dog
to-
Joe came with the challenge flag.
Yeah, right. Pull that shit out.
You see how he
Who was
just hung his
rapping on
head
it?
down in shame just now? Like once he realized, he was like, "Oh man."
I was trying to find a way out. I was trying to find something. Late flag.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Tight.
Oh shit.
That
Mystical
game's
was in
getting
my
better
head,
and
but I
better,
was-
man.
Yo,
man.
facts.
That game is getting better and better, man. I love that.
You know what we
game.
need to do next time?
What?
We need to put Lester in the ringer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Tell me how
Yo.
you do that. I'll put your ass in the ringer.
I got you. I'll run through how I do it. This Saturday, my dog Joe pulling up. You hear me?
You'll create a little creative session.
And the dope thing about it is I'm going to be wrapping up my Christmas song and dropping that thing ASAP. So you're only hearing this here until it drops. So that's the
Damn.
benefit of listening to the podcast.
You're gonna be on your tuki 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 tuki.
Yo, you already know I'm gonna be like chocolate, chocolate. The
That's what I'm like. I
taste.
am 100% anticipating because I have no idea what to expect. No idea.
Hey man, that's good. I showed it to my wife yesterday. I sat back like behind the couch here, and she was here next to the speakers listening to it, and I'm watching her like this, and she's just like this the whole time, right? Like, just staring, and I'm like, dang man, I'm really about to wait 3 minutes and some odd seconds for her to tell me this shit was ass. You know what I mean? Because that's just the vibe of like how she was sitting there. And then when it finished, she looked at me. She's like, "I liked it. Oh my god!" I was like, "Dang, bro, that was so misleading."
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
dope.
man, I'm definitely hyped to drop that. You got anything going on right now, Quintonian?
Man, just trying to wrap up this project, man. I've been dealing with some life transitions, and I think I'm reaching the back end of that pause. So, like, you know, yeah, man. I'm
This guy
now that
put hand over fist right now.
yeah.
Hey,
Whoa. Whoa there.
First of all, do you know what that means?
He got his hand on his
No.
No,
fist.
hand over fist means this guy's
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
this guy's on the grind, getting paid, making money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
Nonstop.
facts. Definitely been grinding it out. So hopefully that'll all get ironed out. But yeah, man, it's been a hell of a run this year. I know me and Les both kind of dropped like our little Spotify like year-end results and stuff like that. So that was really dope, man. It's been a hell of a year. I'm ready for next year to just try to, you know, get back on it, man. But like I said, the end of this year was a little rough. Just real life stuff, man. But I'm reaching the end of that little rut, you know what I mean? So like things are looking good right now.
Yeah, man. Definitely like as an artist, you get that feeling like if you're not putting out music, you're not doing nothing. You know what I mean? And music's one of those things, man. Like you got to live a little life even just to like come with a new perspective and a fresh take on what you've been doing. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely excited to get into that next chapter. I actually have a little project idea that I wanted to run by you, Quincy. We'll talk about it right when we get off air. It's a quick thing, but I think it would be kind of dope. But yeah, man. You got anything else? Anybody got anything else?
I won't be here next week. If you boys got an episode, hold it down for your player. But you know, when we come back, I'll finally be back in my new place, in my new studio, in my new setup, and I can't wait. So the next background y'all see is my permanent background. I'm hyped. We in there.
Sure.
Yes, sir. And always remember,
As DK would say, in sign language, stay butter.